Start off here in California with Brian. Brian, you're with Allworth Money Matters.
Hi, how are you doing this morning?
We're fantastic. How you doing, Brian?
Thank you for tolerating.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for tolerating our little conversation.
I had a couple of things that I wanted to know. I'm going to be 68 next month. I just retired 3 months ago. My wife turned 65 last month. She's already retired and receiving SSI. We have almost $900,000 in a simple IRA that I have from my work, and we also have 2 Roth IRAs, both of which are worth approximately $250,000.
Is that combined or each?
No, each.
Okay.
All right.
We own the house that we live in. We have no debts. We have a second house that we're in the process of selling right now. We should realize about $400,000 from that after fees and everything.
And is that a rental property or is that a second home?
That was our primary home until I retired 3 months ago.
Okay, so no tax
to where we are now.
So no taxes on it. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have a couple of CDs, one of which matures in a couple of months in March, and we'll realize about $415,000 from that, and then a second one that matures in June that we'll receive about $225,000 from that. Have a small portfolio of some blue chip stocks that's worth about $115,000 right now.
Brian, how on these CDs? How long ago did you buy them?
About 6 months ago.
Okay.
These were 9-month CDs.
Okay. And have you always had this much cash in your portfolio? And you also had enough cash to buy a house outright.
And I assume you owned a business. You were self-employed and owned a business?
Yes, I was a public defender, public defender.
Well, how did you get $900,000 in a simple IRA?
It was the.
Is it an IRA or you said simple IRA? Not IRA. That's why I asked the question. Because if you're
limited like $6,000 a year or something.
That's correct. That's correct.
I could be wrong.
So it's typically
I may be wrong. It may not be simple then, but.
Okay, it's an IRA. Okay.
Yeah, it's an IRA.
Okay, thank you. You used the word simple, which threw me off. Okay, so you have $900,000 in IRA. Continue. Boy, you've done well as a public defender.
I know.
I'm feeling really good about this. My daughter's wanting to be a public defender.
She's in law school, yeah.
She's in law school. I'm like, really? I feel great about this call. This is better for me than it is for you, Brian.
Maybe she doesn't have to be a personal injury attorney after all.
I know. She's got a sponge. Her business card turns into a sponge.
Well, I can tell you real quickly. I had my own law firm, and it's in a small county, and I had a contract with the county to provide the public defender service.
Okay.
So I was not a government employee.
Okay. All right. That then it was probably a simple IRA. Okay. So, what's your question for us?
Question is, we don't have any children. We'd like to leave a small legacy for our nieces and nephews. We're in pretty good health. We're not extravagant, but we do like to travel. What I was wondering is, should I start taking Social Security now, or should I wait a couple more years till I'm 70?
What are you living on?
I had just put away a little bit of savings. Like I said, I retired about 3 months ago, and so I put enough away to, keep us going until March, when we received more money. I hadn't set anything up other than we've just been living off of what we had.
Okay, so how much are you spending a month? That's the question. Like, how much do you spend a month?
Well, we took a big vacation right after I retired.
Okay, how much do you think you're going to spend a month? Right? So is it $5,000 a month? Is it $10,000? Because it all works down to percentages, right? So if you have $2 million, Scott was doing the numbers, if you have $2 million saved up, right, in all sources, some of it after tax, some of it pre-tax, and you're taking a 5% distribution, then it's $100,000 a year. And everything runs by percentages. Like, so someone says, well, Is this too much or too little? You look at the percentage, right? And then you look at how much you think it's going to earn and how it's invested. And those two things come together. How much do you think you're going to live on a month? Like 10 grand?
That or a little less. As I said, we're not extravagant. Probably 8.
Okay. And where's that coming from now?
As I said,
It's just savings.
It's
been 3 months.
It was just savings for the last 3 months.
Yeah, this isn't the way I would design it. I mean,
that's why he's called.
Oh, that's a good point, Scott.
So, if I were in your situation, you have no kids, and I would assume your health is good health, no health issues.
Yeah.
And right now is your plan to wait until age 70 to take Social Security?
Well, that was one of my questions. I mean, I could take it now just for the income, or we could invest in some dividend stocks to get some.
And
income
how are your
Social Security?
How are your IRAs and Roth IRAs invested?
Mutual funds.
I mean, stocks or
what kind
stocks, all stocks. Yeah, no,
all stocks.
Don't have any bonds or anything. Yeah,
really, all stock.
Yeah.
So you have an interesting. You've structured things a little.
We had gotten those years ago and never changed anything.
And they served you well.
Yes.
Yes.
Because one thing I would consider is having some stocks outside, like and maybe instead of some of those CDs, having some equities that are outside your retirement account because of the favorable capital gain treatment, tax treatment, and potential step up basis at death, and have the taxable stuff inside the retirement account.
You've got it completely backward.
Huh.
Right.
And I know I understand how this happens because we view dollars differently. You viewed your retirement dollars as retirement dollars. You can be more aggressive, and you saved up these other dollars as years went on, and you looked at those as more conservative dollars.
And some of them proceeds from the sale of the home. But it should be completely backwards, right? So you want non-dividend paying stocks outside of your IRA.
That's right.
Right? Because of the way tax law works, that you receive a step up in basis at the death of you or your spouse, right? And then you want the things that generate income. So if you were sitting down in my office today, we'd look at this whole thing and we'd say, okay, there's what was there, about 1.8 million, $2 million there?
No, there's about 2.3.
Okay, $2.3 million. I'd start a 5% distribution on this thing. So you're sending you $115,000 a year. And then I would actually start Social Security today. Your wife's already getting Social Security. Between the two of them, you're probably income around $140,000, $150,000. Disagree if you want, Scott. No. And then I'd say, have a good time. Spend it. And then I would reallocate the portfolio for tax purposes, and I would put the income producing.
Not 100% of it, but you would have
correct.
Higher. More in the IRA in the retirement accounts and the fixed income, and figuring out what percentage of your overall portfolio you want in secure fix as opposed to growth investment.
And there would be no tax implications in making that change because of the way it's structured today. You wouldn't have to sell anything outside of the IRAs to get it there.
Huh. Okay.
And I got to tell you, you need to hire a good advisor.
You know what the irony? I got to tell Brian here. I'm sitting there thinking, you're a public defender. They have public defenders because people can't afford attorneys, and attorneys think it's foolish for someone to represent themselves.
Well, I think it is. Don't
Absolutely.
you? Okay, I think it is.
Maybe it's time to get an advisor, financial advisor.
Yes, you need an advisor.
Okay, that was
you lack.
I seriously, Brian.
You lack good counsel.
You've done a great job savings. You've done the hard work. This is the hard work, no question about it. Saving money for the future is not easy. You did the hard work. Getting a good advisor is going to pay big dividends.
The problem is, what is a good advisor?
Well, what's a good attorney? There's great attorneys. There's lousy attorneys, like most professions. There's great people in professions and there's lousy people.
Yeah, but I got to tell you though, Scott, it's not like 10 years ago. Your advisor, because of technology, can live anywhere in the country.
Right. Oh, for sure.
I mean, we have an advisor that works for a firm who is absolutely phenomenal. Only works with high net worth clients, mostly business owners or privately held companies, and he never leaves his house.
Well, it's because
He's great. Anyway, you need a.
I'd recommend that, Brian.
Okay.
All right. And what other type of? I'm out of curiosity. What other type of law did you ever do any civil stuff, or was it all criminal?
No.
All criminal. Your whole career was all criminal.
Yeah.
Always on the defender side, never as a prosecutor.
Never as a prosecutor.
Holy
Always on the
smokes!
defender
How long
side.
did you do it for?
Close to 30 years.
Wow.
And where'd you go to law school?
You've seen it. You saw it all. You
I
saw it all.
know. And you still seem pretty upbeat. Wow.
There's a high burnout rate. Many people don't do it as long as I did.
I know. That's why I'm fascinated by this. I wish we could have a cup of coffee sometime.
Yeah.
If you're in the Sacramento area, call me.
Appreciate the call, Brian.